everybody and welcome back to Frankie's Aquatics right here on the wonderful platform that is YouTube. As you've probably straight away noticed, we're in a different surrounding today. So I've decided to take my camera equipment upstairs as we film part one of a day in the life of. Now this was really tricky to record, I won't lie to you. I tried to record as much as I do throughout the day in regards to my hobby. Obviously you don't want to see me in the shower, not pretty. You don't want to watch me clean my teeth, again not very pretty. So I kind of jammed as much as I can into a reasonably sized video without boring you all to sleep. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Has been requested quite a lot. Do stay tuned because there is also a Tiny Tim update in this video. Part 2 will be coming hopefully next week, if not the week after. So enjoy the content and let's get rolling. Let's get rolling with all that fun stuff that we do. Yes, let's do it, yes. So usually my day would start around 7 AM. I'd get everybody up ready to get everyone moving for the day ahead. Kids would go to school. I'd be on at least my third coffee by now. And we're having a bit of a sing-song in the kitchen downstairs. Now, unfortunately, the world's gone a little bit stir-barking crazy in regards to the coronavirus. So I'm not feeling too great myself, to be perfectly honest with you. I'm feeling a little bit groggy. Bit of a sore throat going on, bit of a headache and a bit of a snotty nose, but life does go on. Obviously, things are a little bit different. The kids are off school. The kids have been off school for a week. Their schools have now officially closed as of today for the foreseeable. There's rumours that are even being had that the schools will be closed till at least the summer holidays, which is just crazy. Absolutely crazy. But yes, life does go on, so we're going to get up today, get that damn kettle on, and we're going to start the day off as we mean to go on. Let's go get it. The first bit of my day usually starts directly from my bed. I can look over and check on all the little sausages over here. So I look over and I check out any little staring faces that end up peering back at me. I can straight away see Bilbo over there. I will zoom in, but it'll probably lose its quality. There's Bilbo. We do like Bilbo over here. He's like a little squiggle on the screen now. And then we look over at the babies to make sure nothing's really obviously wrong. Obviously, these are filtered. These are unfiltered. These are new. These are eventually going to replace these ones. So for right now, they're there, which is in a really bad spot for me because I have to use that window, as you'll see in a little bit. So they're in a really silly place, really. I didn't really think this through. They hold 64 litres of water per rub. Really useful box. But eventually them will be there and them will be out there. Oh yes, let's go. Then I'll spend another 15 minutes just replying back to messages that I get. So yeah, I spend a lot of time. I love the practical side of this. I'm just not very good at the admin side of it. I do need to kind of arrange myself a little bit better in regards to replying back to emails and messages and stuff. It can become a bit tricky. It's not that I don't want to reply to people. It's just that I have so many messages and emails coming through from so many different places. Sometimes it's a little bit impossible to keep up with it. So I try and spend I try to spend at least a good 15 minutes first thing in the morning replying to messages, and then when I've done everything I need to do in that day practical wise, I'll try and spend a good hour in the evening trying to reply back to everybody. So if you have messaged me and you don't get an instant reply, please don't be offended. I do read them all and I will get back to you, what I promise. So first things I usually do is I come downstairs, I flick all the lights on and I say good morning to everybody, and I make sure everybody is a-okay. Any spot cleaning that needs to be done, I do that pretty much straight away. Usually I get the kettle on first, then I get myself a coffee. So yeah, I think I'm going to do that. That makes sense, that makes logical sense. So what today is going to entail is water changing this entire system here, which is kind of a big job. It takes quite a while. But what's good about it is I get to interact with each of the axolotls individually. So I get to check them out, make sure they're healthy, make sure they're happy, make sure there's no nipping going on. All that fun stuff that comes with it, that's what I tend to do with this station every single day. Now, this station here is filtered. These entire 4 tubs are filtered. These 2 are not currently in use. I have a rescue coming back next week, which is going to go into that one. I have that one going open and spare at the moment because there's always something popping up. And then these 2, I've got my fancy stuff in there, and I've got some wilds growing in the bottom here. Now, normally this wouldn't be here because these are going to go there, like I said earlier. These are going to move over there because they're bigger, they're more sturdy, and they're discontinuing this particular model of tub as well. So these rubs obviously have been around forever. So I'm going to be replacing all of them with all of them. But obviously they're quite expensive. They work out about £20 a head. So I'm going to be moving these today, which obviously I wouldn't normally have to do because they wouldn't normally be there. But they're going to get emptied out because they are not filtered, so they require water changes every day. So these are going to be emptied out today, and these tubs are going to go just there. Don't worry, the heater's not on, so I'm not concerned about cooking them. But these 2 tubs are going to go over there. So these are the 64 litre really useful boxes, or as the hobby calls them, rubs. They're used for many different things. People use them in the reptile world. They make great snake racks for your reptiles too. Now these hold 64 litres of water. Now, as you can probably imagine, 64 litres of water is quite a lot of weight too. So there's a lot of water capacity and it's an awful lot of weight. You'd struggle. It's not impossible. I proved myself wrong the other day. You can lift them. They're not impossible to lift, but they're not really ideal to lift. For one, you don't want to cause warping in the tub itself. You will warp it out if you keep lifting it with a lot of water in it. And for 2, it's not good for your back either. So in order to move these, I have to completely empty the water out, if not severely drain it to a percentage. Now, thankfully, these are unfiltered currently. So thankfully, these do require a water change today. So this is going to be the day that I actually move them. So unfortunately, I've only got 2 of these at the moment. I need at least 4 before I can completely do the switch over, or the old switcheroo. So what we're going to do instead is we're going to move them into a more suitable place in the bedroom. This is my bedroom that we're in. Originally, I thought, you know what, pop them in front of the window. Great idea. They're not in the way. They're not interfering with the tubs behind. They're not interfering with the larger breeding tubs and rescue tubs behind me here either. And I just thought I'd just lean over in order to do my water, because I have a hose pipe that runs from the garden, that runs up the side of the house, and it's actually attached to my window frame there. Always thinking outside of the box. And obviously I need to be able to get to that. Now, unfortunately, to get to that, I need to get to my window. And whenever I first popped these here, I didn't really think logically about it. And I thought maybe I could just kind of lean over them. But they are quite the size. And Bilbo would agree. They are quite the size. And he's a big boy. Hello, big boy! Just to confirm the size of these tubs. They are quite sizable. So they're not very easy to lean over, especially when you're carrying tubs of water, essentially. So these do have to move. So today we're going to drain the water out of them, and we're going to pop them to their new place just for a short period. Please don't kick me out, Jam. That's the wife. They're going to be moved to just over here, which is going to be in front of the other radiator. Thankfully, no heating's on there, so we don't need to worry about anything like that. So there's a little bit of bonus footage. So let's get cracking. Cold. This is kind of my working station. This is where I'll put the tubs in. I'll put the tubs onto there when I'm doing water changes and stuff. I have a hose pipe, which is right there, which is really handy. But I've just had a real sharp shock of realisation. So now when I take my wonderful hose and I try and reach it to where I need to go, It stops here. I'm so close. I was so close. I wonder if I could aim it. I wonder if I could aim it. Do you reckon? I can't use the watering can. I'm actually not even joking. I'm seriously considering just trying to aim it. I'm probably going to blow the house up here. Let's see if I can do it. Oh, no, 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 no. Got to be a way around this. There really has. Where's my towel? If there's ever a time I wish the wife doesn't watch my videos, I'm hoping it's this one. So it literally just has to reach from here to here. I'm not giving up. I am not giving up. Check the hose. Psh, water the neighbour's garden. And then... what do you reckon? Will that do? Don't mind me, just water in the bedroom. Anytime you add new water to your aquarium or to your tub, filtered or unfiltered, make sure you add a little dab of water conditioner. So many people think you can cut this corner and you really can't. You can cause yourself all sorts of mischief if you don't use conditioner. So don't be a scrimpy scraper. Use the yellow dibbly daper. I don't know, I failed miserably. Just use conditioner, okay? Not on your hair either. Ain't got any. So obviously right now my tub's just there. So I'm going to squirt 3 dabs in there, which covers the 64 litres quite comfortably in there. I quite like this little bottle. I bought it ages ago, a very long time ago, and I just basically keep pulling the lid back off and refilling it because it's got a measurement side on here. So you can work out how much you need to pop in by checking out the guide side on the side of the bottle. It's a really little neat invention, and one that I've not been able to find anywhere else, so I do completely use that. I do. And then it is just more of the same again. So it's pretty boring footage, so within the power of editing, I'm going to make this a whole lot sweeter for you. You ready? Let's just hit the pause button just for a minute, because I've got to show you these guys. They're so beautiful. Absolutely stunning, and they're growing so fast. Get ready to see these guys now. You might remember them from an older video, but check them out now. Ooh, they're so beautiful. And these are the eggs that I got from Bristol Axolotl, which have now hatched out into very, very beautiful babies. They're growing so fast. We have, obviously, the dark melanoid, the copper melanoid. The tubs are finally moved. That was a lot more of a job than I first anticipated, to be perfectly honest with you. So I am going to now work on the tubs just behind me. This is the day-to-day stuff. That was a little bit of an extra thing, but this is the day-to-day stuff. This is the stuff that I have to do without fail every single day, purely because it's obviously not cycled, and if I didn't do it, the water would sour very quickly, and the axolotls would obviously perish in the process, and we don't want that, do we? So this requires a lot of TLC, a lot of commitment, and a lot of time. Time is kind of the thing that I'm kind of short on, and money, well, we all. But let's get cracking with, obviously, the water changes here. So people often ask me, how do I get away with axolotls not nipping each other and not eating each other, essentially? And it is quite tricky. It is a tricky process. Obviously, when you keep axolotls in large numbers and you're a breeder, you have to kind of section them down into very, very small groups. I tend to find I have better success if I feed regularly. So I feed Monday to Friday, reasonably good sized meals depending on the size of the axolotl. It can be anything from brine shrimp, it can be bloodworm, it can even be earthworms. The key is to kind of eliminate the reason as to why they nip in the first place. They nip out of curiosity, and they also nip mainly out of hunger when they're looking for their snap. So I tend to offer more food than probably usual, and I fill them up. I basically try and like rub out the reason for them nipping in the first place. Now that's not to say that the occasional nip doesn't happen, it's kind of inevitable, but I try and lessen the reasons as to why they might nip, and that is definitely food. So I offer them good food regularly every single day, and then I have the day off, maybe 1 or 2 days off, usually for Saturday and Sunday. It all depends on how they're doing and how if they're looking for food, I will feed them. It's that simple. Voila. We're getting there, but the next tubs are excuse me, the next tub in particular is one I want to share with you all, because it's everybody's little guy, Tiny Tim. Look at Tiny Tim. He's not so little anymore. He's still showing signs of being a tiny, but his legs have grown through lovely, both front and back, and he's doing really well. Oh, thanks for the bubble. Thanks, my little dude. Thank you all for always messaging and asking how he's doing. I get so many messages about this little guy, and it's not that I purposely don't update you on him, it's just that if I did it every single week, people might get a little bit sick of the same sort of material. But he's doing great. I'm going to swap him over into his clean tub, and then we'll carry on this conversation. So there he is. He's still a slow goer. He's got a great appetite now, though, especially in comparison to what he once had. Thanks again, Tiny Tim. But as you can see, he's doing so well. Doesn't swim very much, to be quite honest. He doesn't swim very often at all, really. Only when you're trying to chase him around his tub with your little net to obviously switch him over into his cleaner tub. But other than that, he kind of walks everywhere, which is really cute. And as you can see, he's got a real fat belly as well. He's so fat. Look at his belly. Look at his little belly. I'm pleased to confirm we're nearly done. We're nearly done with the water changes. It might feel nice and compact for you guys, but this does take a good few hours. I could rush through it, but obviously I've got my eyesight to contend with for one. And for two, I like to spend time with them all. I like to check them out. I check them over numerous times throughout the day. I like to see how my little guys are doing. It's very easy to kind of, when you've got a lot of something, to kind of rush the way through it, whether you collect stamps, whether you collect, I don't know, whatever you might collect. It's really easy to take it for granted. When I'm doing things on this sort of scale, I like to specify my time for each and every individual tub. You've only got to speak to the wife. She'll tell you I drive everybody crazy with Axolotl talks. I love them. They're my absolute passion. They're my absolute drive. And although I do a lot for the hobby, you would not believe how much these little guys have helped me too. It's not a one-way street. When I was going through a lot of things with my health, my Axolotls were amazing. They helped keep this going. And in turn, they've kept me doing what I'm doing, what I absolutely love to do. So I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful indeed. This is a professional now, look. You have to go in nice and gently. There's one. Nice and gently. There's two. And nice and gently again. Oh, he's escaped. He's escaped. Oh, abort. I'll try that again. Go on, little monkeys. Off you go. I'll scoop out the poop. Scoop the poop! I guess that's what you get, trying to scoop the poop and scoop the axolotls all with the one eye. Doesn't work, does it? No. Doesn't work, failed. So that's water changes finally done. Now it's time to feed. So normally I'd feed an option of either bloodworm, brine shrimp if they're smaller, but thankfully the majority of my babies now don't need brine shrimp. They can go onto bloodworm and, of course, feeding pellets. So today, I'm going to be using feeding pellets. So let's go. And occasionally, following a water change, when you go back to the tub, you'll notice that a couple of them may have pooped. It's usually the slight temperature change kind of encourages them to poo. On this occasion, one of the Lucy's right here has decided to drop the bomb. So I'm going to quickly go around with my net, just clean it out before I feed so we don't mix the two. course, with the rack system here, these are filtered. Now, 2 of these are not currently in use. I've just popped a little chap in here. One of the coppers, missing a little bit of his tail. So rather than, he's a little bit smaller than the others. So rather than just leave him in there to fend for himself, I've decided to separate him off. So he's now living the high life in a big tub all on his own at the moment. Just while I monitor him, really. The second tub is completely empty. Now this is waiting on a rescue that's coming in next week. So by the time you watch this video, the rescue should hopefully be with us. So I'm looking forward to that one. The one just below that is obviously got some of the fancier types in there. And the one below that has some wilds in there. Now, of course, these are stacked on top of each other, so it's not very easy for me to get in from the top. So as you can see with my pointy, we obviously have these holes in here. So what we do from these holes is we do water changes from here, we can feed from here, and we can also siphon out any poop and nasties that we see. Now, obviously, the ideal thing would be to go in with a turkey baster, but obviously the angle again isn't going to quite be right. So what I use is this rod. I have a siphon tube. I pop the siphon tube through the circle part of this rod, and then before you know it, I've actually made myself my own little siphon, which works in absolute charm, as you'll now see. I'm quite proud of this, because this piece of rod, it was originally from one of my puppets that I'd bought, and when we were sorting the room out, the wife tried to throw it away, and I says, no, don't throw it away. She says, well, what are you ever going to use that for? And I was like, I'm one of these guys that keeps everything, because there's always a reason to keep it. And I says, I'll find something. And she says, you'll never find anything to use that rod for. It's only made for like making the puppet's arms move. There's no other reason for it. And I was like, you give me time. Give me time. And 3 years later, it now works as a siphon, which works great for me. So now basically the simple thing I do is I pop it in, other end of the tube, and then away you go. Now I'm not here to take a lot of the water out, because like I said, these tanks are cycled. I'm just here to clear out any poop and uneaten food, which, to be honest with you, there's never any uneaten food. It's always poop, because they have ferocious little appetites, especially when they're growing. So I'm just basically going in here now just to pull out any kind of bits of poo or any other nasties that I'm seeing in there, just to keep the water right, so the water don't spoil, basically. Now, a little technique, if you're doing this, obviously in my case, on a stacking system, that's nice and clean, is I put my finger over the end of the siphon, like that. I can remove this, pop it into the one below, and it will start again off its own accord without me needing to suck on it. So that's a little bit easier for me. Out comes the rod, out comes the leftover water, and it's as simple as that. It really is that easy. And then we're going to offer these guys a little bit of food, which again can be done through the feeding holes just here. These are also on pellets today as well. I love how they know, look, I don't know if you can see down here. I'll try and bend the camera down one sec. How they know it's feeding time. I'll pop a couple of pellets in. You see? Come on, little guy, it's all yours. Amazing, they're such amazing little creatures. So there we have it. That is pretty much the day in the life part 1 in a nutshell. I hope you enjoyed it. I had really good fun. Like I said, I recorded as much footage as I could throughout the day of what I do and what I get up to. Mondays tend to be my busiest days, so if you're trying to get hold of me on a Monday, I will get back to you on a Monday, but it'll usually be at silly o'clock in the morning, because that's my day where the water changes everywhere has to commence. Downstairs is weekly water changes, obviously upstairs is an everyday water change, and squeaky floorboards are everywhere within this house, absolutely everywhere. Now, if you haven't done so already, please be sure to hit that like button. Also hit the subscribe button, and also ding the notification bell. And then that way you'll be informed each and every week when I upload, and you'll be kept in the loop with all my videos. So I hope you enjoyed it. Do let me know what you think in the comment section below. Terribly sorry for the snottiness throughout this video. Thank you all for stopping by, and I'll see you all next week. So until next time, ta-ta for now. Woohoo! Slept funny. I have slept too well, that's my problem. My shoulder and my neck is absolutely killing me. Woo, Betty.